Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks, and this is my new series. This is going to be part 7, and this mainly about the toolbox, which are all your tools on the left. We've already gone over the pick, the shape, crop, zoom, line, artistic media tool. I just did one on rectangle and ellipse. Now we're going to go off. I'm just going to do the polygon flyout on this one. Polygon tool is really cool. I've got, when you have the polygon tool shape selected, I can make a 5-sided polygon. I'm going to hold down the control button and I got a perfect polygon, 5-sided polygon. I just hit P and put it in the center of the page. I'm going to bring in some indexing lines and hitting P. It's not in the center of the page. It's because of the handle is in the center of the page if you look at your square handle. But the polygon is not a perfect shape in this thing, so it just doesn't fit. And we can prove that by taking a 2-point line and going to the node, to that node there, to that node there. We only have to draw a couple of them till we see it's not in the center. This ought to be the center. So the quickest way around that is make that 5-sided top polygon a 6-sided, hit enter, put P, and now make it a 5. And now that's in the center. And you can see how far Corel thinks it's not in the center. But the advantage of this is if you double click it and move that rotation to there, you can rotate this guy and they'll line up, as you can see, or if you're trying to rotate something around it. So that's the polygon tool. A little bit more about the polygon tool, and because I use it all the time. Let's make this polygon tool a 50-sided polygon. Holding down the control button, you get a perfect square. Hitting P, you can see all the nodes. Take the shape tool, and with any of the nodes, just bring them in. And look at that, what you can create. You can add a node right there by double clicking and making all the nodes do that. Double click, look at that. You could just keep going and make it a weird shape forever with the polygon tool. Doesn't really show off till you take the smart fill tool, or you could actually just turn it black. But if we take that, I mean, look what we created just simply with the polygon tool. Okay, the polygon tool, whoop. Let's go from the polygon tool to the star tool. I'm going to make a star with 5-sided. So I change this to 5, hold down the control button. So it's, I must have, I don't know why that's still on a polygon. Let's go to star. Why is it stuck? Oh, I've got it so skinny. Look at that. I had it really, really skinny. So you can make a fat star or you can make a skinny star. So let's start over and take our star tool, hold down the control button, and make us, it went back. I guess I need to type in 15. Let's go to 20, let's go to 30. And I probably need to save it as default now because I was playing around with it. But that's the star tool, and what this is the sharpness of the angle. So let's put that on 50 now and see if we can't draw a star. There we go. Now it'll stay there, I'm pretty sure. Now the star is the same thing as the polygon. You cannot put it in the center. That Corel thinks that's a center, but that's not the center. So same thing, if you make it a 6-sided, hit P, and then make it back to 5, that's the center of that star. Then there's complex star. Holding down the control button and you can make a complex star. I've never used it, but it is pretty cool. You know, here's where you can change the size of your star. We've got 9. We can make it 5. We can make it any number you wanted and have a complex star. The next tool is the spiral tool. I love the spiral tool. Hold down your control button, make a spiral. Let's Control D and make a duplicate. And let's, holding down the control button and mirror it over. Look at that shape. Let's mirror it. You actually have to click off of it to get your mirror. It get pretty close, but I didn't draw it perfect. So take your pick tool, get that 4-point cross and go right to that node, select them both, go up to object and combine it. Now I'm going to hit F12 on the keyboard, get my line tool. I'm going to make it a half inch. Well, let's make it 1/4 inch line with, watch this. I can't zoom in. I'm going to make it with rounded end caps. And so now I have round ends. You can go to object, turn that outline into an object. We can left click the fill, right click the, so this is, I'm left clicking no fill and I'm right clicking red. There is an item that would take you forever to draw. And you can do a lot with that. The next in there is, your version's either going to say basic shapes or common shapes. Later versions, I'm using 21, it says common shapes because they put all the shapes together. The basic shapes are right here, but they had flow charts and arrows separately. And banners, you can make a banner. You can change this to, I mean, really, you know, a nice heart holding down the control button. Make a heart. You know, cylinders. You know, you can draw a cylinder. Arrows, pretty cool for an arrow. And if you grab the shape tool and grab that arrow, you can make your arrow any shape you want by using that red handle. And then all you do is just fill it in with black, take out the outline, and you have an arrow. You know, there's banners, there's flow charts, call outs. You know, if you want to make a call out, you'd have to use maybe the control button. Same thing with it. You grab the shape tool and take that red and you can change your call out where it's coming off of, how big and fat it is. So that's basic shapes or common shapes. The last thing in here, well, the impact tool, which I've never really used, but you can do things with it like that. You can, you know, change this, make it thicker. I'm not going to go over it too much in a beginner because this is pretty intense stuff you can do with this. And I've never really used it in a drawing yet. You know, you can increase the steps and so on, and you can change this to maximum steps more. You can change, you know, what it looks like and everything. So I've got some videos on the impact tool if you want to look at it. The next thing is the graph paper. It's right here, it's drawn a 4x4 graph paper. What is so cool about this is if you're making a puzzle or everything, I'm just going to write out the word text and I'm going to put it in the middle of my, well, I'm going to tell you what, well, I'll just leave it like this. If you will take that text, select it and go to object. I don't like using the power clip, but it works good with this graph paper. And then you're good. And then you could select it all, go up to object, ungroup it. And now you have that word. This is really used for tiling. If you needed to make something, your laser bigger than your laser bed, you could, you know, if your laser bed wouldn't engrave that whole thing or print, you know, even a printer, I'm thinking, you could grab those two tile and probably use the nudge factor. I've got it set on 10, so it should work. Let's say we can do those 4 tile. You could put that in your laser bed and this wouldn't fit, but then you could do all these, the rest of them you don't even have to engrave, you know, if you were just doing tile. Now there is graph paper and then there's we'll get to it maybe tomorrow, the table tool, which is a little bit different than the graph paper. Does basically the same, but it's a little bit different. Anyway, I think I covered all in the Polygon tool and hope these are helping a little bit, and thank you for watching.